Hey, we are live. What is going on? Today we have a Subaru STI. We are actually not going to be doing the windshield, but we are going to be doing all the sides. They have those funny little quarter windows that are going to take us a little bit longer to do, but that's fine. The interesting thing about the back one is that it actually has a visor in the way. So cutting it is going to be extra hard. So for you people that have plotters, you're going to definitely like it for that one as long as your cuts are good. For me, we're going to have to figure it out, but we'll get there. We get there. So I got to set up the GoPro. This is going to be a full GoPro experience extraordinaire. I commented on your last video. I had to get back on the line at work. I've been referring to you, everybody now. Oh, thanks, man. Sheesh. Sheesh. It's my exact car, only different color. Nice. We've done one of these on stream. Not with that spoiler, though. Spoiler won't be a spoiler problem. But it does get in the way a little bit. It is a very big, exaggerated spoiler. What film? We're going to be doing 20%. 20% Pro Classic on this one. Oh, I got to turn on this. I got to turn on this. Big weep. Big week for us apes. Yeah, man. Tuesday should be fun. Everybody was hyped for Friday, but they just held the line at 200. Not a ton happened, but interesting information that confirms all my biases. And the more that I read, the higher I imagine it's going to go. Is it all-wheel drive? Yes, it is all-wheel drive. I got one of the first ones, so when I tinted mine, there was no help. Yeah, luckily on this one, there isn't too much to know. It's just like tricky cuts and trying to get those quarter windows settled in without like getting dirt. Wales got us up to 200. You know, every time my 3-year-old hears your voice, she says, Matt, GoPro. You know what's funny? Sorry, I'm going to talk about GME too a little bit. The whole float is 100% owned by retail. There's no way it's not. So, and more. I think more than the entire float is held by retail. So, I don't think the average person holding it is going to hold indefinitely, but like there's a whack ton of shares out there that aren't accounted for. Okay, hopefully, let's see what this looks like. Sometimes this makes me try and set a date. Hang on, I know it's black. I gotta reset the firmware on this. It keeps telling me to do that. Oh, no. LKB with the questions again. Thank you for the 5. Bacon or sausage? Definitely bacon. Sausage is weird. It's got like this weird flavor to it. Like so much in the realm of like spices and stuff. It's like, it's fine, but it's kind of a bit much. You're gonna still tint once you're a millionaire, right? What I want out of that is to literally be able to build a house with a garage that I can tint out of, and then I'll do that. Yeah, absolutely. That is not like I'm having two conversations right now. The funny part is like if you like made $1 million tomorrow and you didn't have to pay taxes on it, you're talking about like $100,000 a year for 10 years. It's good money, but you need like millions and millions. Okay, what does this look like now? Oh, come on. Fade has a shop at his house. I like that the best. I had a lot of fun doing that. The only thing that I need is like more parking. This is just being funky. Hang on. There's a bit of like a process to getting them to connect the first time. Usually is pretty seamless. Just whack it a couple times. So I think I have to let it boot and start up. Set manually. I don't want to set the date. I don't care. And then once I think it's fully booted, then I think I can plug in the cable, and then it'll go into weirdo USB-C video mode, which is a different mode. It shouldn't be this much. Because, so, if you're a vlogger, and you have a GoPro, and then you get like the media mod, and then you get the little flip screen, to have, like, this is what it's gonna do to you every time you try and fiddle with it with the media mod. It's kind of ridiculous. See, that's ridiculous. All right, good. It's finally there. So every time that I hooked up the media mod with the flippy screen, if I was just using a GoPro like they intended to, I'd have to leave it unplugged and like fiddle with. Okay, it's so dumb. So dumb. All right, let's go. Do we need a haircut yet? I don't think so. What? What about a Lambo? Civic hatchback, all-wheel drive and boosted for me once we make it big. Forget the Lambo. Oh, Lambos are small, too. I was really surprised. You see a Lambo in person? That car is tiny. Maybe like the Urus. The one, the SUV that they have is pretty sweet looking, but I haven't seen it in person. No, see, not. All right, cool. We're gonna get started here. So we we have a little side conversation going on because there aren't very many people I can actually talk to about this. The GME is big week this upcoming week. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But so everybody talks about like if you were a millionaire tomorrow, what would you do? What would you buy? For me, like my thing right now is I want a house that I can tin out of. So that means basically a sweet garage and like a pool in the backyard. That's it. I'm good. Audio's choppy. Is it still choppy? Are you kidding me? Audio's choppy. How about now? Still good or still messy? No. Hello? Better? Okay, good. Well, we've figured out how to fix it, which is kind of annoying because I already did that at the beginning of the stream. You deactivate it, you activate it, and then there's just something with the cam link. Okay, so what I was saying is there was, everybody's expecting GME to go to the moon, right? And it's very likely to. Hedgies are gonna go bye-bye. Where is my, please don't tell me I used the last of it. No, I gotta roll right here. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Sweet Jesus. I need to clean out my shit. So what I was saying with stuttery audio was that, like, for me, I want like my goal out of this right now is to like keep this studio place going for the next couple years because that's what I signed a lease for. And then I want to get a house built or move into one with like a adequate size garage and a little bit extra parking in the driveway and just run everything out of a house again. And then I want a pool in the back. Screened in pool. That's what I'll do. Pull a car in, do a stream, jump in the pool. Set. That's life goals right there. Cause like what else? If like money was not much of an issue, like then you just like if you don't have something to do, you'd get bored. Oh, I should disable this. Three-car RV parking driveway would be ideal. Something like that. Or, yeah, just like enough space for like, so you're not crammed up the driveway. You could have a couple things dropped off if you want more. And then, have you ever, I've seen a couple things that are super cool. There's been these like warehouse garage houses. So like they have an actual house inside of like a warehouse building. That was pretty cool. I guess something like that would be like super dream. I forgot to wash all my towels, so my Explorer's a disaster. What are we getting? Pro Classic 20, which is on the bottom. Of course it is. Because why wouldn't it be? Separate house from garage is better for insurance. Yeah, but I'm not worried about insurance. I just want to run my show. I just want to do my stream, man. Oh, it was so sad. On Thursday, everything was all set. I had the spot wide open. Kia K5 pulled in. Thumbnail picture taken. All set, ready to go. And then the power went out. It came back on 5 minutes later, and then it went out again. Sad. Never had it go out before, but it went out right before I got started on a car. No fun. Yeah, I was content at home with a full-size garage. Or a 2-car. It could have been bigger, but like, you know, I got stuff done in there. That was nice. I liked having walls on both sides too. Too much, all this, like, it's hard to design. It's hard to figure out what to set up. So that's why, like, everything's in here, and it looks cool. And then this is all kind of just, like, warehouse, like, whatever. It's nice to have, but when you're trying to make it look good, it's difficult. I'll come for ape training after. Apes to the moon. There's definitely, most people don't know what I'm talking about, which is fine. All right, we need to focus, right? We're doing a car window tint. So we're tinting the same car right now? Whoa, that's weird. Cool. All right, so we got visors. They're not super fun. Oh, you know what I should do? I should have flipped this. So my biggest worry is visors making the tint shift if it doesn't stick enough. They do get in the way for your cuts, but you can kind of just guesstimate a lot of your cuts and work around it. But I added some extra soap for this one. And what I think I have to do is flip it. But I forgot. I was doing everything like I normally do. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do real quick. We're going to flip them. So the safer way to have things laid out is to have the liner side on the outside. So to have it basically like this way, right? But I do it the other way for efficiency. So I cut them out, I peel it off. But my issue right now is I added some extra soap intentionally. So if I flip it, so the tint is on the inside of the glass now. this will just stick better. Or did I just think about that wrong? I'm just gonna leave them separate and try and get this to lock down. Because I'm worried about it. Yeah, there we go. See, that's locked down now. That's what I want to see. I need this locked down. How long should it last? It should last a lifetime. We gotta turn the key on too. Pretty sure I'm gonna get demonetized as soon as I do. We had some loud music. Some fun music. But some loud music. Alright. La 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 la. Good. Good, good. Make sure that's all the way down. Everything's off. Cool, cool. What was that? No, seriously? How long should tint last? Oh, like honestly, as long as you have the car. So you're talking over 5 years at least. Generally, like 7 years or more is like a long time, but like that should be. It's well more than a couple years with a good film. Rip the visors off? No, I'm not gonna rip the visors off. They just come really far down. Yeah, so most places will like warranty it as long as you have the vehicle. So see, we got these big old things there. So we can take this back over to the glass board and we can really cut these out. I'll do the other one on the other side. Normally I wouldn't go to these lengths. Wow, when did that happen? That's an interesting one. For sure. But then you just connect the dots. Connect the dots. Draw a straight line. You can freehand the whole distance if you want, but if you want to be a little safer too, you can just draw a straight line, and then round your corner. Ta-da! Like magic. We're using Pro Classic. I added more soap too, because things are starting to get warmer here. And when I say warmer, I mean like a refrigerator instead of a freezer. So it's still cold, but stuff starts tacking to the glass faster. How much does your store make per year? It's too early to tell. I'm still new. We're doing okay right now. That's mostly because it's so busy. What was a little funny about this appointment was, he went to a different shop, thinking he had an appointment at a different shop. Didn't realize he had an appointment here. It's extra funny because it's like I know there's some people that be like, oh, he's got a lot of subscribers. It's got to mean he's super busy all the time. No, it's just two completely separate things. Especially because it's the whole Detroit Tint Studio thing's new, so it takes a while for you to like build up any sort of local reputation. I had a busy Wednesday though. Here I scheduled 2 sets of doors first thing, a full car. In the middle of all that too, I kind of like overbooked my morning. And then I had a full car with a windshield immediately after that. And then after that, I had a set of doors with a windshield strip later on in the day. So it was a pretty decent day. But it gave me absolutely no time to stream. So I had one set up the next day for a stream. That's going to be coming in tomorrow, Sunday, at about 1 o'clock, maybe a little bit later. Shrinking with the glove, it's fine. I am not a huge fan, but there's some people that really like it. That's a GoPro. Thank you. It's very much a personal preference thing. What I don't like about a glove is, like, with a felt block or with a hard card or something, you have something hard to press the film down and evenly. With your hand, you're kind of like sweeping it, and there can be like lots of little ripples and stuff, so it's not as easy to like smooth out the film. But there are a lot of guys that like it. All right, we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're just going to take this over to the glass board. We're going to peel these apart. We're going to cut things individually for the top edges just to be a little bit more sure with that visor. Felt cards are nice. Hard cards, triangle cards with like a felt strip on it, those are really nice too. The Tint Studio squeegee is actually pretty nice for it too as well. Which I was not expecting, but it does work. So yeah, cutting things out this way is definitely going to take a little bit longer. This is more individualized. Like I said, the only reason that I'm doing it this way right now is I added a little bit too much soap, or a little bit extra soap. It wasn't too much. I added more on purpose because I want to play around with like, I'm worried about getting the film, like air spots and stuff locked in the film right now with it getting hot. That was kind of an issue until last year, where it's like stuff started freezing really fast because of how hot it was. But when I squeegee this onto the glass, like, it should be like this. It shouldn't be wiggling all over the place. So double make sure that's the case when you have visors. So this car, all in all, is like, if you have good patterns, it's like, it would have, like, plotters definitely help out in these situations. There, that's better. So then we can cut these out. Back and forth, back and forth. So this is also where you can lose a lot of time. People talk about cutting on glass boards using Sharpies and stuff like that. This will cause you to lose time. Too much back and forth. That's why I like to do everything on the car. But if you have glass boards on both sides, that'll help. If you just have one side that you gotta walk back and forth to, it's not so great. Pretty. All right. So basically like that, right? See, we trailed a little bit outside, which is perfectly fine. Always overshoot if you're worried about undershooting, because then you can trim into it. But if you trim too much off, you have a gap in your stock. Well, this is pointless. You guys wet that side. So these are actually really easy to install, except for the quarters. The quarters is like really what throws a monkey wrench into this whole car. Windshield's pretty straightforward. Roll downs are pretty straightforward. Quarters, they'll be fine. Dang, I haven't cut on this side in a minute. Let me change this blade too. Oh shit. Oh wait, no, I did order blades. I got a hot tip. A hot tip that blades are getting harder to come by right now. So if you need stainless steel blades, order some extras. Somebody mentioned carpet shield is from Lowe's. I know it's coming. Just wanted to let everybody know ahead of time. The problem is nobody's going to read it, and they're still going to ask. Just wait. Just wait. How did you get into the glass shop? That was actually a former account of the mobile company I was working for. I don't think they were super happy about that one. I think that was one of the deciding factors in our departure. I tried to get a jump on it. Yeah, it's kind of like answering questions in like the Facebook group too. Oh, that was my idea. Oh, I'm gonna forget about this. So with my voice software, I can program hot commands. Should we do a carpet shield one? Ooh. I don't want to get too distracted yet. Maybe I'll do it for next time. I got to remember, though, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget. So my idea is, like, I could have hot commands when I say something, and then have it pop up either in the chat window Or maybe make a visual thing to pop up on screen too. I could do both. The visual thing would like, having a picture pop up on screen would be like a little bit extra crazy work. But having a little text blib, blib, blip, I can probably do that. Oh, that'd be super helpful. Ooh, I want to try it right now. I've got a job to do. Dang, this one's so big. Oh yeah, we gotta cut this top edge, huh? Gotta cut this top edge. I'm just gonna start connecting my lines. That's the, can anybody freehand a top edge of a window without it being on the car? Just like from imagination, how close can you get? That would be the true hand cut pro. I definitely would not be able to do that. Just like, shoo. Not gonna happen. I tinted blindfolded though. That was a fun video. I really liked making that. Dang Bird Box YouTube. They basically restricted all those videos hard because blindfold challenges were getting out of control. Do you wash a car before you tint it if it's extra dirty? No, not usually. It wouldn't hurt. It can definitely help more than it would hurt. But like, so here I have like a nice little setup where I could just pressure wash one really quickly and it wouldn't take me long. But over at like my other account, it's just they have like a garden hose attached to a sink. So it kind of just would be annoying. Global or Matico? I know basically nothing about Matico. So we got to make sure that this doesn't slide. So every time you roll down the window, it picks up your squeegeed marks off of the film. So it's like you got to keep that middle squeegeed and locked down so it doesn't shift over. So that's why, like, for the really big visors, squeegee, shift down until you get a proper amount of exposure here. Yeah, voice prompts would be super legit because people ask, like, where do you get this? Where do you get that? And then I could just, like, say the thing and have it pop up in chat with a link. That would be awesome. Yes, please. I got to set that up. I got to set up an affiliate link for Carpet Shield. Except Lowe's and Home Depot. I don't think they'd have anything worthwhile. You hardly do anything off of affiliate links. They're kind of a joke. If you get like tons of traffic to like a particular site, then you'll do okay. But like Amazon is like 5% commission on some items, not everything. It's just, it doesn't sound bad, but I don't think it's one-to-one. So like when I get an order through that, I don't think it really. It keeps like you when so okay so I'm kind of rambling. When you have an affiliate link and you send somebody over to Amazon or something, anytime that they make a purchase, they got to make a purchase within like 24 hours of clicking that affiliate link, or nothing happens. So I think a lot happens outside that 24-hour rule. Carpet shield deal. That would be something else. Hi, yeah, I'd like to talk to you about a potential sponsorship. Oh, okay, cool. You guys do like home renovations? No, I do window tinting. Oh. What? Yeah. Yeah, your product is very popular with window tinters. Why? We like protecting our carpet. That's why. That's why. All right, we did it. See, how much longer did that take to cut out all the doors? Much longer than it normally would take to just cut out them together. Yes, we had visors, but even doing things individually around the car will always take much longer than just double cutting. So that is one of the biggest things that you can do just to speed up your whole process. You lose so much time individually cutting all the patterns. So you get really frustrated throwing away extra film when you mess up double cutting, but it's so worth it on the time that you save. Because you gotta like realize, like, you'll throw away patterns, and then, but the time that you save could easily be worth an extra car, if not more. Doing fast, even moving into, or even cutting them individually. I don't. Yeah, I'm like mostly on track, but it's still slower. Stuff is getting done, but then you start, like, you'll notice you got the doors cut, but then you start to lose time on like little things like installation, and then we still have the quarter window. So like these windows will be a little faster to install, but the quarters are gonna take me like much more time too. Dang Subaru quarters. I think I'm gonna shrink these and maybe see if I can set up my carpet shield thing really quick. Out of curiosity, I want to look at the window and see what I can do. Do I charge extra for the visors being in the way? No, so some of these you just kind of gotta just take your lumps. Like, there's Canon. There's certain cars where you'll have a clear advantage. So it's like you'll be used to charging a particular price for a full car, and it will be a really easy car, and it's like, cool, I just did that car really fast, made a good amount of money. And then you have something that's a little bit more difficult and will take you longer, and they kind of all balance out to like this average. So I don't really nickel and dime between small differences like that. The major ones would be if it's previously been tinted before, so you charge for that. If it's a much bigger vehicle, so like we're going from like a sedan to like a regular full-size truck, those are the same for me. But if they're gonna be like a full-size SUV, we're talking about a few extra windows, a lot more glass, so there's gonna be a premium that comes with that. Okay. So this is my... See, it keeps track of absolutely everything that I'm saying and tries to interpret it as much as it can. I also have lots of icons on my desktop right now. So what I do is I go into settings. Right? Do I? Oh, no, I don't. I got to go here, this button. So this is where I have all like my hotkeys and stuff. So I just want to see what I can do. They have a very flexible program. Key press. How could you... See, it does like a key press, right? So you could have something on like copy paste ready to go, but how would you... I don't know if this will do... Other. Dictation. Windows. Sounds. Execute. Look at how many things. I have to have something for like quick input. What does that do? This action allows you to specify text to type out in your application. Ooh, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. So we would take that and then Home Depot, right? So if you guys want to know what it is, so you're going to find Super Chat, T-Jet. I had an ST. Thank you so much for the 5. I had an STI once. Nice. How was it? It's Lowe's. Yeah, but Home Depot also sells Carpet Shield. So, oh, that's what we do. We call Home Depot or Lowe's, and we get them fighting against each other for the Carpet Shield. (24 by 200 feet). So this is the one that I hang on the sides. So we can copy that, and then we go back to our program here, paste that, and then okay. Quick input that. We'll probably have to do like a other. What was it called again? Quick input, that's what it was. Carpet Shield. So then you do something like this. Then you click OK. So, and then we move that up. Oh, shoot, I gotta somehow, and then quick input, and then push enter. See, this is where it gets really, oops. Super Chat. RM. What was that one? Let's go check it out. RM with the 5. Thank you. No message attached. I was checking for a message. No message attached. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. So where are we at? So, gay? No, I'm married. Thank you. Quick input. So Carpet Shield and then that. So I think I would have to be selected on the window though. But anyways, when I say Carpet Shield, and then I say apply. Oh. Hey, user on this. How do I think we got troll. Yeah, there we go. Good deal. What are we doing now? So here, I would say, oh, let's test it out. I want you guys to see. Let's see if this works. So this is my chat window here right now. So I go carpet shield. Oh my God. That's too slow. Look, it's literally typing it out by itself. Is there any way to like speed that up? Now it's got to go like through the entire thing and then it'll push enter afterwards. But you see, like that's kind of like the idea, right? So I got to figure out how to refine it. Self-adhesive film. That was a long URL too. I even said I had to shorten it up. There you go. Bippity boppity boo. All right. We got it. All right. We have a proof of concept, which is good. So that's the idea. Is so I could be doing this, and then it said we could ask, and then I say, and then people could see a link. I couldn't link, like it's got to be a hard link. I can't like put a picture. What I could do, in theory, is have like a picture pop up on screen if I really wanted to go that far. I think that might be a bit much, but I did have an idea to like, when people say like subscribe, then I could say like subscribe, and then it pops up like a little bell or a little subscribe button, little animation. You can be all sorts of creative with it. Speaking of it, here it is. Wait, now I'm scared. Now if I say it, it's gonna start doing a bunch of like key commands on my computer. We gotta just change it. I thought I had a little bit more left. I do not. I do not. So now I have it as a quick command to do all that, but that actually kind of gives you guys a good idea of how I switch cameras. I hotkey everything, and then I say the thing, and then it does the thing. This would be super obnoxious if I did tint rolls like this. They would look cool, but then every time you want to use it, you'd have to like, you could pull off a section and measure it that way. But pulling the full roll off would get obnoxious. Yeah, I could definitely change the keyword. The problem right now is the speed of the typing. So a couple things have to actually happen. Wait, oh, I can do a pop-out chat window, can't I? Ooh, that helps. So I got two problems right now that I got to figure out. One is the first problem to sort out. Why is this one yellowy? This one's yellowy compared to the other one. Carpet shield quality control. Feels thinner. So what I gotta be careful on is like like I gotta basically send the command to a specific window. So because I'm always clicking on different windows on the desktop. So I basically have to tell it to send to a specific window and then start typing that out in the text box. And maybe if it highlights the window, it doesn't highlight the text box. So then you have to tell it to highlight the text box and then start typing. But I think YouTube has pop-out chat windows that I could probably use that, and that would fix some of my problem. And the other thing is the typing speed. There's got to be a way to do it like super fast. I saw some extra settings, so I could probably make it go much faster. Maybe we'll tint some windows and then give another quick look at it. See what we can come up with. Because then I could do it with like a whole bunch of tools and stuff. Like, what is this? What is that? Rather than trying to describe it. You could use auto hotkey. That would probably work. I'm using a different voice software now too that's kind of like that. But I don't know if there would be any conflicts between the two running at the same time. That would be my other question. Lots of questions. This is good though. Give you guys a good idea. That's what I spend a significant amount of time sometimes trying to figure out. I get like locked in on trying to figure that out. And then it's like almost working, but there's like this one stupid hang up. And then I'm like spending hours just trying to sort out a little thing. Like I had Tint Wiz, so I have bookings on my website, and then I have Tint Wiz connected to the bookings through a program that they integrated called Zapier, but it wasn't working, and I spent like way too much time trying to figure it out. I finally figured out what the issue was. I have to check people in order for them to pop up. That's spend way too much time trying to figure out ways to improve all these little things. But I have fun doing it. I have a habit of taking a bunch of existing systems and trying to tie them all together to get them to do one thing. I don't know how to program. Never liked it. But this is like half programming. Cool. And since his visors are stuck on the outside, we don't have to worry about them pressing up on the tint. Where's my blue? Where's my blue little guy? There we go. It's my favorite step of tinting. When it's over? When you're finally done with it, you can look back and go, that looks good. That's my favorite step. You can go, I did a good job. Everything else is just up in the air. Can you talk about the electronic tint? I don't know a whole lot about it. It's like electrochromic tint. They just run a current through it. It's still pretty undeveloped. It exists for like architectural, but there's probably not going to be any type of automotive application anytime soon. It would be way too expensive. Most people wouldn't get it, and there's a lot of work involved in doing it. So, but there's people that get it for architectural, mostly frost though. Will you be at Sema? No. No, I've never been to Sema. A lot of those shows, I don't know. I mean, they've already kind of been taking a hit in their own way because, like, there's so many media outlets there that as soon as something is announced, it's everywhere. So it's really about just going and like hanging out. I don't have a lot of time to do that. Okay, good. This one is good. I think. Let's check it over. And then we got to do that quarter. Do we do the quarter now, or do we do the roll downs and then do the quarter? That's the question. I'm leaning towards just getting this quarter window done. I think that might be the way to go. So that one's actually going to be pretty easy compared to this one too, because this one, the visor goes right here. So you got to kind of like guesstimate your cut and then like sneak your knife, and yeah, that's going to be fun. I don't even know if I'm like on the fence right now. I was pretty sure I wasn't going to the tint off. I'm not competing. But it's on my birthday, which is also kind of a reason to not go to. I don't know. It's on the 7th, 8th, and 9th in Florida. And we were talking about going down to Florida near that time. So it's like, I would like to swing by, but I don't know what I'd do there. Say hello. Hello. We ain't out of the woods yet. That notch would drive me crazy. All right, let's try that again. Super chat. What's up, Matt? Oh, thank you. First off, thank you for the super chat. I'm just trying to settle on these quarter windows. I had a little notch in my cut. Not something that you can get rid of, so I'm going to sacrifice another piece. What's the best film that you've used? There's pros and cons to everything. I mean, I use Geo. I like Geo. There isn't like, even out of Geo, like there's still things I don't like about it. That's mainly like the adhesive. Everything else is great. And it's not that the adhesive is bad. It's just the adhesive goes really hard in the strong direction. So sometimes it can make it really difficult trying to get things to line up. But it's like I could nitpick something about every film. Avery Dennison NR was a really, really solid film. Didn't shrink quite as easily as Geo does, so it's like that takes a point off. And Avery didn't really have great films above the NR. And I thought Lumar was pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of people that talk shit about ATC. I didn't have an issue with it, but it's got an oversaturated market now. So, where can I get Geo? I have it on my site now, so you can get it there, or you can contact the company and get it direct from them. All right. So, this little guy. We get around it much more, but how much more, we'll find out. So that much, we gotta round it out that much. Still might not be enough. It's pretty spot on there. That's pretty good. All right, let's try this. I was gonna order some Geo, but Avery was cheaper. Oh, that's fine. You get what works best for you. They're both NR and Classic Pro. They're both solid films. They both have their pros. The little pricing difference kind of is negligible when they're so similar, though. But I don't blame you for saving a couple bucks on it. I was just a little surprised with like their upgrade path. So like NR, this is the whole reason I switched in the first place. So you have NR, and then you have NR Pro. But NR Pro used to be, I'm really familiar with Avery because I use them a lot. So they used to be, NR Pro used to be Hanida's Sigma Pro. They used to have a cooler name for it, and then Avery bought them out. But the problem with, like I switched right to NR, and I never looked back, was because the heat rejection on Sigma Pro wasn't anything to write home about. It was like a dyed carbon hybrid, so there wasn't a lot of heat performance out of it. And it had like a little bit of a low angle haze. So I really liked NR, wasn't a huge fan of NR Pro. And then I haven't ever tried their ceramic, but I didn't hear good things about it, so. So what really put me onto Geo, if you go all the way back and like watch the first live stream where we used it, was the carbon. That I felt had a really interesting angle into my market specifically. More people are talking about carbon and ceramic. Dyed is still probably going to be my most popular, but as things start building, having a good carbon with like basically no low angle haze, it was like a big, big deal. So people had a lot of good things to say about Gwari. So it's kind of like a had a good upgrade path. Okay. Only thing I'm nervous about now is this top corner. Those top corners are like the biggest problem of these quarter windows. Uh-oh. I think we fucked it. Maybe not. Do you just butt up to the one side? Yeah, so like you butt up to this. You can tuck it in a little bit if you can. That's it's a hard edge. So you can tuck it in a little bit, and then you're gonna go, that'll line you up with this front edge too. The only reason I bought carbon, well, with Avery, it's a dyed carbon hybrid. So there's both. There's dye and there's carbon in it. That's because I think the carbon is not as fine as what it could be. So, like, the biggest, on a full car, you're not really going to have much of an issue. On the front doors is where you notice the biggest issue. Because somebody's front doors, or the back doors that are factory tinted, are going to be just dyed. So if you do front doors to match the back doors, and the front doors look hazy, people notice that. Not a ton, but people do notice it. So you want to minimize that haze on everything as much as you can, but especially when you have a sharp contrast between one window and another. My robot voice said that really funny. I cut along the side gasket, creating a small, it said Chanel instead of channel. I cut a small Chanel. So fancy. Don't think that's big enough for a quarter, but I'm going to save it and we're going to find out. I still got to cut off that back window too, so I'll get some extra. Channel, yeah. It was just funny. My robot voice says things funny sometimes, or it got misspelled or something. It was saying booble for like a little while. My robot voice. I gotta name him, I guess. Microsoft Sam. Yeah, that looks good. All right, we're happy with that. That one turned out really nice. So I cut this bottom a little bit longer because the outside seal actually is a little bit higher than the inside one. And it gives you, actually, too, a little bit of tucking space. So you can kind of like sneak it in there, bring it down, and then slide it into where you need to go. Still, these top corners, like any window that has these gasket top corners, they get really tricky to like get this all laid down without creasing or butting it up, cutting it too long, any little thing like that. And then once it starts popping up, it's really hard to get it to like settle in, and then it'll just start pulling dirt because it's the very top corner. Dang, this is thinner. They change? I think they changed. I got 4 rolls all at the same time, all together. This stuff feels a little bit thinner, which actually would be okay if it somehow clings better. It's like when you have a roll of film. It's like when you have a roll of film, and then that roll of film changes on you. And they're like, oh, no, that's the same film. You're like, something changed here that you're not telling me. No, it's all the same. I don't think so. Don't think so. Canon. Woof. Hate seeing how well the carpet seal sticks to the Subaru. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for me. Because sometimes it doesn't. All right. 1 second. I want to look at this one more time. Okay, so this is the command. If we edit, ooh, wait for that long between keys. Can I just say 0 and 0? Edit. What if I just do hold keys down for 0, 0, and then click OK? What does that do? Apply. Carpet shield. It did it like instantaneously. Ooh, that's good. Okay, now we refine it a little bit more. Pop out chat. See? See, now it's a pop out window. That's good. So if I'm clicked off this window and then I have to go back to my pop out window, if I say it, will it just like, dang it. You have to like click on the spot. So I'd have to tell it to like somehow click on the text spot or just leave it like this, already clicked on. But then if I say 1, oh, that still works. GoPro. Canon. Okay, we might have figured this out. All right, let's test it. Let's test it. Carpet shield. We did it! GoPro. You guys see? You get it? You get it now? Making everything seamless can be really tricky, but when it works, it's really cool. The annoying side part of that is that it actually reads out that whole hyperlink on my headset, so I gotta hear it every time. So I'll get annoyed. But you guys will. What do you use on the door panels? Carpet shield. It works. Oh wait, I should send it to the restream chat. Oh, my bad. Carpet shield. Oh, bingo, bango. I did it in the restream chat window. Now I don't hear it. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. All right, we've pretty much figured out most of what we have to do. That was actually really easy. Yay! Here you guys go. Well, because it's like a neutral ground for testing this. Like, I'm not like, oh, I was just doing it to promote a squeegee. No, we're trying to actually solve a fucking problem. Everybody asked me about it. Now it's a quick command. I could also set it up as like a chatbot command so people could type in like exclamation mark and then the thing. Oh, wait, no, then you got to know what it is. And then somebody else could do it for somebody. All right. We're getting there. This is fun. We're making moves. Yeah, I could do it for everything. I got a Vinyl Express plotter. Top edges are still iffy, but it saves time. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, top edges, side gaps, all those little things. That's where it really falls off. So like, you'll definitely be able to save time overall, as long as the like patterns are more consistent for you. I mean, it's just some of them really drive me crazy. Long patterns I've had to use on pretty much all of them, even with or without. You might be surprised at how short some of the short patterns are. Like, I couldn't believe on some of them, the short ones. Here, I'll show you where they would pop up. Short patterns. So like, look at this offset on this gasket here. You have this, and then you have this. On some of the softwares, the short patterns would literally sit right here, right at the top of that gasket. And it's like on the top of the outside gasket. Like, how the fuck? Like, short patterns should be just barely in here, not like all the way up here. I use a few shorts, and they don't tuck hardly ever. Yeah, like what the fuck is up with that? And then you wonder, like, maybe there's people that just like, that's normal to them. I don't know how that would ever seem that way, but go figure. I wouldn't just do it specifically for the gap. Mind the gap. Gaps are a no-no. All right, we're going to peel this one. And then we're going to come back to this quarter when I have the rest of the doors and front quarters done, because I think this one's actually going to take the longest. What really is like an alarm bell for me is when somebody goes, I never had any problems. If somebody ever tells you with anything, I've never had any problems. Sus. Is that what the kids say? Sus. Truck back windows are like a big advantage. Those that you have lots of loose tolerances too. So like you have lots of overlaps and stuff like that. Like big ceramic borders on most of them. So you can get away with like a lot of with truck back windows. What program? Nothing at the moment. I don't know what I would use either. I almost think TrueCut would probably be the one that I would try and go with, but I don't know how they are after a year. Yeah, truck back windows are great. Most, like, I honestly, like, as long as it's just a back window in general is actually pretty great. It's the doors especially. So it's like, as long as everything is a bit overlapped on the outside, there's nothing wrong with the back windows. So those were usually like pretty consistent. And that's where you're going to spend a lot of time cutting, right? So you do save a lot of time on the back window. The doors have to be a lot more exact on like the side framing and the top. And generally I would run into gaps and wavy top edges that just didn't quite line up. So, but you're paying monthly for patterns that are supposed to work, and it's just like I hate just saying like, they're whatever. So, meh. I have a Graphtec 8600. That's a good one. Yeah, I was very familiar with the FC7000, and then the one of the shops I was at, they got a big Graphtec, and I want to say that was it. It was a 60-inch wide. Yeah, the crosscut feature, that thing sucks. Better for, honestly, like Lumar. Lumar was like the best film in a plotter because they would be opposite. So everything like tilted down, where all the rolls that are rolled the other way would curl up. So it's more likely to get snagged in a plotter system. How are you reading, chat? I'm psychic. Psychic mind reader. If you if you see me step in front of the camera, it'll make more sense. I have never actually seen a Roland in person. So I'm much more familiar with the Graphtecs and the Vinyl Express ones, which is like Graphtec's cheaper cousin. I couldn't tell a difference. Maybe just a lesser quality motor or the branding. I have no idea. But Vinyl Expresses are a great way to save a little bit of money on basically a Graphtec. Is Lumar and Suntech the same thing? I don't think so. Even though they both come from Eastman, Suntech existed for a while and then was bought out by Eastman. And so they're sister companies. But at the time, they didn't have the same films. So it would make more sense for them to like just kind of like rebox the same films, but I'm pretty sure Suntech is still a different film entirely from Lumar. Or at least like parts of it are. So like the color code on it for the dye and maybe like some of the construction of it. But it's been a long time since I've seen any of it in person, so. Yeah, I found my Vinyl Express on Craigslist as part of like, so there was a guy who bought out the lease of one and he just needed the printer. So he resold the Graphtec to me the Vinyl Express for like $2,000. That was hard to pass up at the time. I was looking for one too, so that was a pretty sweet deal on it. And then it's been used by another shop ever since. I'm like the epitome of like stupidly lazy with going and getting it. kind of want a flat edge to cut this out with. Maybe I can just chop one here. There, that helps. Yeah, that helps a lot. Ta-da! Did I do that already? Probably. Alright, same thing. Make it as precise of a cut as we can, going up as far as we can. Something like that. And the whole thing shifted. Yay. Okay, cool. We got it. We got it. We got it. And then we got one more cut. Where's my... this guy. There we go. Alright, let's round this out now. Make sure that's tucked a little bit. Got a little bit of a swoop. All right, let's trim it just a little bit more. Just a little bit shorter. Because if it pushes against rubber on the inside of that window and you don't get it to lay flat, it will forever pop up. Lexus LS 430. Ooh. Not a car I would normally suspect that to happen, for like little air pockets to pop up. No, I don't backblade. My first thing I would try is like turning on the defrosters, but some of those, I ran into a, God, what was it? I'm trying to think of what it was. An IS 350 or something? Dude, that glass with the ceramic I was putting on, it was just fucking sticking. I could barely get the air out of it in time before it locked up. Like oh, that was a frustrating day. Every once in a while, I just get those cards. But backblading would be a good answer to that too. So I would not blame you for doing something like that on a car like that. Like, see this? There we go. That little, like, potato chip bag fucking locking up bullshit. God, that drives me crazy. I just want everything to, like, free float until you get it in place and then lock it down. That's the way I install things. Where are we at? We could go a little bit higher. I just don't get why it happens entirely. It's weird. It does it with like little spots. You like soak down a window. You'll over spray everything. You'll put extra soap in your bottle, and then sometimes it still like just will grab onto a certain spot and just freeze until like you pick it up off the glass. Drives me nuts. Oh, somebody asked, does your hose or the tank ever stink? It's been a while since that's happened. It's kind of been a problem I forgot about. They used to. Usually came from like excessive, like just baby shampoo sitting in the lines. So if you have stagnant soapy water, it'll build up and kind of turn to shit. You know what it is too? Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. I solved it. Some of the hoses don't allow a lot of shit to stick on it. That would have been the only thing that's changed since Now and Then, other than baby shampoo recipes, which still build up in tanks. So the tank I'll wash out and is easier to like clean thoroughly, but your lines will like be impossible. So you every once in a while, like I'd suggest every year to swap out your hoses. So like the curly hose especially, you'd see like shit build up in there, and then it would start to flake off, and then it'd be like a snake skin for like weeks. Little bits and stuff would start flaking off. There's no good way that I've seen to clean them out other than just replacing the hose. So these hybrid hoses that Tint Keg sells, the Flexzilla hose was the first one we kind of like started paying attention to it. At least up here, it's not like we still get hot weather, so they sit in hot weather sometimes. But like we cut one open after a year, and there wasn't any buildup on the hose itself. You would have buildup in like on the brass sprayer and like the inside of the tank and stuff, but the hose would generally stay really clean. So that's where a lot of the smell could come from. So you can clean out the stainless steel, but swap out the hose too, and get like a better hose too. And it wouldn't be very expensive just to swap out a hose every year. I think they're like $25 or something. But ever since that, the problem just kind of like went away. I forgot that was a thing. But yeah, I used to like leave my spray tank sitting in my car overnight all the time, like for years. And then it gets that like nasty egg smell. Cool. So these quarters actually went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with them. I always get a little nervous. Like, I don't know if I'm quite as good as doing them. I hope it goes well. And it did, so that's nice. You know what's funny too? No, not a single person has asked about what I'm putting on the doors. I haven't heard it one time. Oh, there it is! Holy shit! Look at the chat. Carpet shield. Bippity boppity boo. Wait, did it show up? Did it not show up? I don't see it. Why didn't it post? Oh, it says it posted. Oh, there it is. Okay. That took a little bit longer, but it worked. It's so fun. I asked that 15 seconds before you said it. What timing? Nobody said it, and then, like, we prepared for it, and then bippity bop, there it is. All right, I gotta set up a whole bunch of those now. Same thing for, like, the Facebook group. That's a big one. I get, like, at the end of the stream, I type that shit out almost every time. http://facebook.com/groups/tinternet. Didn't realize it's so cheap and available. Yeah, it's like that's if it was expensive, I don't think I'd be using it. It'd be too much because like we put it on every door panel, and then we throw it away immediately after we use it because it kind of just sticks too much. Yeah, it's been really helpful. I still want to find something that sticks better, more consistently. Ideally, I would like something that I don't have to throw away either. But it's not, you get 200 feet for like 25 bucks, so it's like it lasts a long ass time, and like when it's clearly, the sheer reaction from people has clearly been a positive. Like people are like, oh, he covers up the panels rather than just wipes up all the water off of him. Like it's just, right? It's safe. So it's just one of those things that show like a little extra care in what you're doing. Be careful though of like letting water sit in there for too long. So there's gonna be like this little bit of, unless you tuck it in, there's gonna be like this little gap where water can seep in a little bit on the top. So don't let that sit for too long. On like hard plastic door panels, you'd be perfectly fine. But like if you're getting into something with like some leather and whatnot, still be quick about it. Leather can swell with water. It's right along the stitches. So it doesn't stick perfectly to everything, but it does really well overall. You're gonna be like, dang, why are so many people clicking over to the carpet shield, which they totally monitor all the time. We're doing 20. We're doing 20 on the everything but the windshield, and we might do the windshield in the near future. How do you keep cards from scratching the tint? Either buy new ones or clean them off regularly. Sometimes it can be the scratch coat on the film, or you just rough it up a little bit. Some people will sand down the cards too. I'll just get new ones. Wet sand. You know, I've never really given wet sand its fair shake. I've just never felt like buying the sandpaper and doing it. But yeah, wet sanding would be fine. I mean, you wet sand paint, so. 1,000 grit? Yeah, that would probably make them last quite a long time. I've never given it its fair shake. It's just the idea of like when you're like talking about like sandpaper and window tint. I've always just, nah, just whatever. I use the same wet sandpaper for like a month. Yeah, I'd imagine it'll last for quite a while. Versus spending, what, $3, $4 on replacing them every so often. That shit'll add up. But the little silver lining is tint tools aren't really that expensive for what you make on a car, so you could pick up a whole bunch of them. And then you just put them all in like a little drawer or in a shelf and they look all pretty. Check them for burrs. Yes, that's a big one. Yeah, just like run your hand across it. Make sure there's no like rough spots on it. Lighter scratch coats. So some films will scratch easier than others. But like I've scratched this film that I'm using right now. I have scratched it plenty of times. Which is also one reason why like I'm using a clear crush too. Because wintertime, lots of salt. I'm tinting completely on the car. Cars aren't getting washed when they come in. So it's like you put the film on here, right? And then you take it, you put it on the inside. Well, that same film layer still has all that shit that was on the window if you didn't clean everything off. So when you squeegee over that, you might run over a little piece of salt and scratch that film. Stuff like that can happen. Do you think this is big enough? Yeah. We can like 16 piece it. Dang. Scratched up from digging them into the seals? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get a bunch of new cars and everything's fine, and then all of a sudden you get that one car that just is like filthy. What was that? Solar Effects gave me a free heat box for buying so much ceramic? Hell yeah. That's smart on their end, because then you'll sell more ceramic too. It's a win-win. First time in 2 years of tinting, actually be able to see the difference in films. Dude, I was like, I kept learning about shrinking like years later from when I started tinting. I would shrink just individual fingers, and then I learned about pull shrinking, and then I didn't understand it for like a long ass time. And then I kind of understood finally like the heat wave that you create when you're shrinking. And I was like, oh, that makes more sense. But like the reason I say that is just like, it's like some things don't click with me until like way later on. So like seeing the difference between like shrinking different films and stuff like that, all that, like in the beginning you're not sure if it's you or the film. And it's generally you in the beginning, but there are some instances that it's like, yeah, it's in that case it's definitely the film. Don't close, please. Stay open. Wow, I actually thought this was going to be harder. I don't think it's going to be that hard. I think I can wiggle my blade up there. Oh, look, I can see it. Oh, neat. It's the little things. Enjoy the little things. Oh. Well, I got that way wrong. I meant feeling the difference between ceramic and dye. Yeah, that that you don't need to be experienced with. Yeah, there's definitely a big difference. All right. Look, I can see it. Easy peasy. Wait, I can't see it. Yes, I can. Look at that. That's what we like. Visors. What visors? There's no visors here. Am I shifting a little bit? Yeah, because we have room to. So the gasket comes a little high, and there's on the inside, this gasket actually, like you see how easy this pulls back? You can tuck it in a little bit. And then over on this side, you can actually swing it in a little farther in that seal. So if you don't do that, sometimes you'll be able to see some visible gaps with just the thickness of the glass. So we shifted it just a little bit over. That's not the case with all of them, all quarters with those types of gaskets. Some of them are pretty spot on, but this one. How much did you have to buy in ceramic to get the heat box? People want them free heat boxes. Oh, come on. Heat box is a couple $100. I mean, yeah, it's saving money by buying something if you would already buy it anyways. So I don't blame you there. Everybody start hitting up Solar FX for some free heat box. Let's go. I like that though. That shows some dealer support. $250 heat box? Yeah, that's about right. I said $250. That's not bad. 100% worth it. And it's got their branding on it too. They have some clean looking heat boxes. I like them. I like my spinny one too. Wait. Eh? Did we not turn it? Okay, good. Yes, the Tint Depot heat box. That's what I meant by mine. I don't have one. I have the Tint Depot one. The one that's in my up front area that I need to make look nicer. It's the spinny one, so you don't have to like switch out the slides. Small difference there. Not a deal breaker, but they're both cool. They won't give you a free one though. I think theirs is like under 200 though. I forgot how much it was. There we go. Yeah, see, you got a lot of space back here. And down there. Just flush those suckers out. Don't freeze. Come on. Don't freeze. I believe in you. Could you show the soapy water system? I could. Tuck it in a little bit if you can. That'll make it look the best. It just got ATR. That's a game changer over the awesome. Really? I didn't think it was that big of a difference between the two. I used both of them side by side in a video. It probably depends on the type of adhesive that that film has, and that would just be like kind of like a crapshoot, right? I would imagine ATR, because it's made for removing tint adhesive, is probably going to work against more tint adhesives. I really liked ATR. Where awesome wins for me is convenience. It's just, it's cheap and available there. So I was surprised. I had always talked about ATR. I was like, just get ATR, and people would be like, awesome, from the dollar store. And I was like, yeah, come on. And then I tried it, and I was like, oh, that shit works. So if you're in a pinch and you need something that is like almost guaranteed to work in every situation, awesome is a lifesaver. Because you can go through like, I mean, they have like Goo Gone and like all these other things, and like nothing, oh my God. I just remember all the times I was frustrated with like Rapid Remover. Rapid Remover wouldn't work, and I'd be sitting there with like that orange peely smell over everything, scrubbing at a stupid back window for like an hour trying to get every little bit and piece off the back window. And it was hit or miss. Hit or miss. So ATR was lifesaver. Big appreciate that one. And then the community turned me on to awesome, so both of them are great. Would I charge if a car's been tinted before and it's got old glue? More. So for a full removal, like side windows and back, I'll charge like $160 for just the removal. And if it's got like old glue, I would just have to look at it. Sometimes I'll just like deal with it. It all depends on the situation. I'm pretty sympathetic to like situations. So like if somebody is just like, yeah, you know, I was looking around, I haven't been here before, you know, I'm new to window tint, and then they're just like, they didn't know. They have adhesive on it, and they just didn't know, and they're just looking to like not spend a ton of money, but they go with you. Then it's like, I would absolutely just take care of it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So that's building up like long-term good business right there. So, but like, if somebody was like, hey, I've got, you know, glue on the windows, can you take that off or whatever? It's like, you know, anywhere from like, depending on how bad it is, probably like $50 to like $100. If I have to do like a full removal on back windows and stuff, then it's a lot more. We are making it happen. The quarter windows are going in very nicely. Look at that. That looks good. Very, very happy with this one. Good shit. Like this whole, so if somebody asked like, what's my favorite part about tinting? It's like when you got to here and you went into these little spots that you're just kind of like, I hope this goes well, and then it does. That's when I get happy. I had one of these, but had old glue, so I charged $60 extra. Oh yeah, then no worries. Like I said, it depends on the situation. So if like somebody called, let me know ahead of time. But if like it was just, hey, I didn't know, blah 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 blah, then it depends. That is not anything. Do you tint quarter windows on a VW Golf? Not anytime soon. I should get that one on my belt. I just haven't. I don't have anybody to blame but myself. What tools? I've seen like the Reach. I've seen people use a screwdriver and like a squeegee on it, like a handful of other things. I spent half an hour on my first set, and I was like, charge X amount more for every one of these and give me about half hour, 45 minutes. And then everybody was just like, yeah, I don't touch them. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to touch them either. So in most situations, they wouldn't plan ahead for something like that. So I haven't had one on my own call in, be like, hey, I've got a Golf GTI, where I know, oh, those have those quarter windows. Most of the time, or every situation that I've had has been like, they plan 2 hours for the car or something. The car comes in, and then I go out and look at it, and I'm like, hey, this is the one with those quarter windows I told you about? And they're like, oh, shit, we got all this other stuff booked, too. And I'm like, oh, then I don't really have fucking time for it. And you didn't tell them that it would cost extra. So now you're in a bit of a pickle. So in that case, that's where it's always defaulted to, like, telling them, hey, sorry, we didn't know, blah, 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 blah. That's where I lose sympathy, is, like, if I'm tinting if I was tinting at a different place. And then they just don't plan ahead. They just stick you with the situation. I had one come in and he said, don't even bother. Yeah, I had one of those too, kind of. Like, where somebody was like, aren't these difficult to do? Like, it's just, those types of people, I guess, do a little bit more research before they go get their cars tinted, which is nice. They're into it. Same thing for, like, Teslas. Tesla people, they're like hive mind. Carpet shield. Nobody asked, I just wanted to say it. Love it. All right, we gotta shrink this little guy. Boy, do Tesla customers spend money. They took like, they're like, hey, what if Apple was a car brand? What would it look like? Boom, there you go. That's what they created. They basically took the whole Apple community and converted them into car enthusiasts. I'm not even a big fan of the styling on the interior. I can appreciate, sorry, I'm talking with a quarter window in my mouth. I can appreciate minimalism, but it's just like, felt a bit stale. And it was like, you could hear so much stuff with the car, like a little creaking and like the motors and stuff like that. I don't know. It was just like, kind of like a weird thing. Like, it seemed like it was a little overhyped. But then they put a gigantic media center in it, and that's what's like, that gets people's attention. And that's what I'm so surprised that it took car companies to catch on to. Like, they just like, no, we wouldn't do that. What's your dream car? I don't really have anything right in mind right now. I don't think. I haven't been paying attention to cars for a hot minute now. It's like, cause I'm in like dad mode right now. So my wife was talking about a Pacifica, and I was like, oh, if we had to, I guess we have to. Used to make fun of people. Like when you work with other people, it's like Pacifica is like when you've given up. The minivan. The minivan life. You're like, ugh, shit. But it was like, we got like the Blazer. We got the... There we go. Model 3, you need the 60-inch roll. But, so we got the Blazer, and I really like the Blazer. I think it's a little stripped down for, like, actually how expensive that little thing was. We got like the Redline edition, which isn't the most expensive one, but it had like everything we were looking for. It had like the white and black theme to it. It had leather seats. It had heated seats. It had a little media center, but it doesn't have like lane departure, which I've never had before, like lane assist and like all these other little things. But it had like the fancy little backup camera mirror. Not like, what am I trying to say? Like where the rear view mirror is also a screen. So it had some fun features like that. But what we've actually found out with the baby is that it's like, okay, practical things. You're trying to change a baby in a car, and there's just not a lot of space to do it. So then she's like, I want a Pacifica or a minivan or something like that with more space. And I'm like, we just got the Mama Mobile, which is the Blazer. The heck, dude? So, I have no idea. Somehow I think I'll be stuck with the Blazer, which isn't a bad thing at all. And then, like, get rid of that and then find something else. I don't know. I saw the electric Mustang the other day. That thing's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's actually cool, but I drove by one, and I was like, it actually looked pretty cool. And then I did oh, you know what? It comes to mind, BMW X4. Something with that type of styling is pretty cool, too. Where it's like a smaller SUV that's kind of hunched down in the back, which doesn't make sense for space, but it looks kind of cool. Dang. That turned out nice. Happy. All right, cool. Those turned out really, really good. I don't know. I gotta keep reminding myself that these quarter windows are not so bad after all. Or they can be. They can be pretty straightforward sometimes. So this one, I think, turned out pretty damn good. Neat. Neat-o. All right, let's do this back window. Do you go about a removal? Watch some videos. Get yourself like a fabric steamer, some adhesive remover, and some razor blades. It's kind of a process, but there's a lot of videos on that. Did I put anything under the tint before I started to shrink it? Yeah. Yeah, this is a method called dry shrinking. So I have what is called dry shrink prep underneath it. Insert link here. You can also use dryer sheets. Oh, but hey, for anybody that's new here right now, we have a car. Well, I'm sure people pop in and out the whole time. We have a stream for tomorrow. It's going to be on a Kia K5. That's going to be about maybe 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Sunday stream. And then we'll have something for Monday and Wednesday. And Saturday. Schedule's filling up, which is really nice to see. I get to do my stream, man. I get to do my stream. GoPro. Thank you. How do I know the camera changed? People tell me. I don't even need to look at a monitor. Midas export window film? I've never heard of it. It's made in Miami? They don't have a manufacturing plant in Miami. I can tell you that. Sounds like somebody in Florida is reboxing something. Likely on the cheap. Never heard of it. In Miami. Those are two things that would give me a little confidence. Most like legit films will come out of distribution hub destinations, kind of. Like they won't be so in Florida. Florida would be a bad place to distribute window film out of, actually. You're so in the lower corner of the state that everywhere shipping is slow. Geo's out of like Louisiana. There's just quite a few out of Ohio. Kind of like they try and put themselves like in the middle or in some like, you know, like California and like around the US. I just blew your mind with that fine line tape. That is my own little thing, actually. That is Glass Aid. Insert link here. Glad you liked it. Yeah, it's just a thick tape. It's white. And it makes life easy and it protects the glass. What more could you like? Or could you want? More could you want? Okay, we need to clean all this shit up. We need, what do we need? We need this guy. No, not that one. This one. This one's got the white blade. There's a difference. The white one's been holding up much better. The yellow blade works fine from like the knockoff, but not for as long. I've seen your video about black magic. I was wondering how it's holding up. I don't know. It's been removed at this point. I kept it on for like a little while. I think. How long did I leave that on? I've tinted that passenger window there so many times. I do have the Lexan though. I have it on this side. I still, you guys remember this video? I still have it. I should probably take that off. Anybody that I talk to or show my car to, I'm like, ignore that. I make videos. And they're like, oh, okay. There we go. I think this little guy pops out, if I remember right. Just need that little bit. There we go. Just that little back thing. Bippity bop. So easy. Look at that. Now you got all the room in the world. I think the Lexan is still fine. So it's been a year? We're going up to a year. Holy shit. It's been, no, a little, yeah. About like 10 months. Oh, we need a clay bar. We definitely need a clay bar. Somebody, where's my, did we throw it back here? I don't think we were that prepared. Oh, we were. Hang on, let me drop it in here. Okay. Somebody asked, how do I read chat? Canon. This is how. Oh, this shit. My telepathicness. Do you use a soak rope? Not on the rear window. I've never had to, really. It just kind of works out. I throw a towel over it for like the speakers and stuff, but it just kind of works. Just kind of works out. The Lexan half laughed my ass off. Yeah. I know. I was pulling out of the parking lot, and then they're just kind of like, you still have that on there? I was like, I do. It just gets me around. That's what it's for. Just don't have time. All right. Let's knock out this back window. And then we'll be good. Everything went really well. It's pretty cool. Good to see. GoPro. Yeah. When do you Frankenstein as opposed to reverse rolling? I didn't learn reverse rolling till a lot later. So it's not something I ever really learned with back windows. So if you're comfortable with reverse rolling, then you can actually reverse roll pretty much every back window. And I know some people that say even like the small Challenger back windows, they'll reverse roll those as well. So my rule of thumb is I just Frankie every back window, and then I will reverse roll every windshield. Unless it's like a really small windshield, then I'll try and just carry it in. So on a back window, they're not quite as wide. So back windows are easier to carry in and get in place and stuff, and you have like a lot more room with like, you know, the way you're on the seats and stuff like that. It's very just like straightforward. With a windshield, you have the dashboard. It's a bit more tilted. It's a longer, bigger, more exposed piece of glass that people are going to be staring at of the whole time. So I've had better luck with just Frankensteining a back window and then reverse rolling a windshield. But there are definitely people that reverse roll everything. Tint over tint on back windows? Oh, you'd be perfectly fine. The only thing that can go bad really is just the first layer of tint, and then that would cause the other layer of tint to be messed up. So as a shop, the only reason you wouldn't tell most people that you'll double layer tint for them is like you can't attach any type of warranty to it. Film is made to stick on glass, and it'll probably be fine on whatever you put it on, as long as the film underneath it lasts. And that's where it's like, you know, if you're just like, yeah, I'll double layer your tint, and then the customer goes away, and then a window peels or something bubbles, and they're like, hey, I need one of my windows retinted. It peeled, and you're kind of like, well, I double tinted it, and that's really just not a, you know, I don't know what film was on there before, and I don't have the film that was on there before, so you're kind of stuck. So as long as they know that going into it, then you're fine. And if you want to do it for yourself, knock yourself out. It's your car. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. How's the Clear Max? Better. The Clear Max has been doing better than the Orange Crush. It's just you have to press harder. But it's slick. It's all about setting expectations for the customer. 100%. Absolutely. And that goes with, like, if you're starting out and you're like, hey, how long should I tell a customer this is going to take? Well, how long is it going to take you? Is it going to take you all day? Well, just tell them it's going to take you all day. It's going to be like, I'm going to be working on this car all day. Just drop it off with me. I'll make it look beautiful by the end of the day. And then close the garage and cross your fingers and go wreck some film. And then when they get the car back, as long as the job looked good, everything's good. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Tomorrow morning? Oh, I'm all booked up for tomorrow morning. Yep, no problem. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got the one car for tomorrow. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. Got a Kia. It's harder to set people's expectations for PPF jobs. Ooh, PPF is very tough to manage people. I don't really like going that route with PPF. Like I don't like PPF a whole ton. It's like window tint. It's like window tint in respects to, somebody can easily walk up and look and nitpick the fuck out of your work. And you don't really have a lot to stand on other than saying, well, I did my best. The environment, not every job is perfect, blah, 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 blah. An upset person is just an upset person. So you can reason with people, but PPF in general is like, it's a much more expensive job. It's a much more time-consuming job. And expectations are generally higher. And if you have a mistake on a hood, it's a lot more work to redo than even a back window. So, yeah, I think, like, there's parts of PPF that is kind of relaxing, but generally, yeah, I'd agree. Window tint. Window tint I much prefer over PPF. I've done both. I was never really an expert with PPF, but I did enough that made me never want to do it again. So we got this little guy and this little guy. So I think we're gonna get the green. I was hoping this would get it, but I think this one's gonna get it. Do I tell customers about my stream? Usually. Not all the time, but usually. There's been more people that have been coming in saying, oh, I saw, I was looking around and I saw your videos too. So that's been nice. Like, I post the videos and links on my website. So if they make it to the website, then they'll see I do a lot in terms of videos. It's been helpful, but it hasn't been like a game changer. There's still lots of people just calling me, so it's more like an assist right now. I haven't found one thing that really is like, will just make business go crazy. Income tax jobs? Yeah, definitely. We're starting to see that with the stimulus checks altogether. I think this is going to be as busy as last season, if not busier. Unless the whole financial market crashes. Because of GameStop, but that's a different story. I guess that's best ways to do. Oh, paint correction before PPF? Oh, 100%. Yeah, and that's where in a way, window tint and PPF are like, people look at those as very similar businesses because they're film. They're automotive film businesses. But I think PPF is much more complementary to a detailing business. You're detailing a car, you're polishing the paint, you're correcting it. Well, now do you want to protect it? It's like, how far do you want to go? With window tinting, it's cheaper on average. So unless you're going for like a crazy expensive ceramic, right? Like, for the most part, it's just like, it's cheaper, it's quicker just to get window tint. And then talking somebody into fully protecting their car with paint protection film is a lot bigger stretch. So those businesses can work together, but it always seems like vinyl, PPF, and then like window tint's like the add-on in that type of business. For a tint business, it's like there's tint, there might be taillights, there's sometimes like glass coatings, so like glass parency, whatever some of those other ones are called, ceramic pro and whatnot. But yeah, it definitely takes up a while to build up the PPF side. PPF on carbon fiber. Wonder if it'll keep it from fading yellow. I'd be wondering about the... well, no, if the carbon fiber has that clear coat texture, or like that clear coat smooth, then yeah, you could definitely put it on there. It should definitely help with UV. One thing that I know for sure I've seen is when you PPF the front end of a car and then you peel it off 2 years later, like if you do a half hood, the paint won't match anymore because half of it got sun faded and the other half didn't. So the PPF would look yellow, at least back in the day it did. PPF would look a little yellow, and then you peel it off, and then the paint would look great underneath. But it would make the rest of the paint look like shit. In comparison. But you wouldn't have rock chips. Dang. She looking good. That was fine. Just trying to toss it all in there off the floor. From carrying in that Frankie back window. Dang. I would much rather, I'd much rather tint than PPF all day. I agree. I would much rather tint than PPF. The second part was PPF is so lucrative. If you have a good streamlined business, if you are skipping from job to job, I've seen the opposite. I've been a part of a shop that was trying to bring in PPF, and the PPF was so inconsistent. It was like I was doing PPF jobs once every 2 or 3 months. And then they would still try and slam us with window tint. Well, guess what? I'm the window tinter and the PPF guy, and I got to do both at the same time. And at the end of all of that, it was pretty much same amount of income. So if you have a couple of solid people that can tackle a car and you keep that business going, then yeah, you can definitely make some good money if you're efficient with it. But it is a lot, a lot to get there. Then you have the customer come in. You get the customer coming in and he's like, oh, this has it actually. So this has like a half hood, right? You can see this little seam right here. This doesn't quite match up, but he's got it, which is sweet. Yeah, he's got it on. Oh, this edge lines up better than the other edge. So it's like, that's what you would have. You'd have a guy come in here and be like, that's cool. He gets really close and he looks, oh yeah, that looks good. Oh, yep. Oh, what? This doesn't match here. Can you redo that, please? Ugh. It's pretty good looking work if it was done at a dealer. It could have been installed at a dealer, but I've seen some shit work go out of dealer, because that's all aftermarket. That's not factory dealer work. It's all aftermarket dealer work if that's the case. They don't have an in-house could have an in-house PPF job. But it would be aftermarket applications all the time. Alrighty, well, we're just doing a little bit of touch up here. Door handle cups and small stuff for PPF. That's where I would go to. You do that and maybe work yourself into bigger stuff, but you need somebody to come do it for you. Don't take that shit on yourself. You need a PPF guy and you need a vinyl guy, or if somebody can handle both, you need to have somebody, like you need to have two people. One that can maybe do both, but when you have the PPF work, that's what he's doing. Or else it doesn't make sense. I don't know how many times. Oh my God, it was so frustrating. So we would we'd get a car written up, and then they're like, oh, okay, I got this car coming in for PPF. I'm like, great. Did you take pictures of the front? No. Well, like, it's let's say a Ford or a Dodge Challenger, because I would get those here and there. They're like, we got a Dodge Challenger coming in for PPF. We're like, great, cool. What model Challenger, like what trim level was the Challenger? And they'd be like, I don't know, it's a Challenger. And I'm like, yeah, how many different ways can they do a Challenger bumper? Like little accent pieces, cutouts, all that shit. And then they'd have to get the customer on the phone. Hey, can you take pictures and send it to us? Because they wouldn't take down any information for the car. God, that drove me nuts. By the end of most of the jobs that I did for PPF, we ended up breaking even or losing money. We've got it for the whole week. Okay, cool. I'm going to get started on it. Wait, we need you to do the window tint, though. I'm like, okay. They're like, you'll have time later. And then I would never have time, so then they'd rush it out. And then the guy would come in and be like, well, you know, he was okay with most of it, but we just need to redo half the car. Like, oh, okay. Neat. Wonder why. Dang, dude. All right, this looks cool. Happy with this. Canon. So when I get in a back window and I'm like, whoa. God damn. It gets to be a lot sometimes. But I hope the video quality is better. And it hasn't been too bad. I need to figure out how to maybe lighten the load a little bit. Just change it up so it doesn't weeble wobble so much. Okay. So what's going on, guys? I suppose it is that time. I have to make sure that to catch up. I didn't hardly get any phone calls today. I got so many calls earlier this week, and I haven't gotten hardly shit for calls today. Weird. I expected today to be like crazy for phone calls, but it's not. But I'm booked up. So I got a car tomorrow. All-wheel drive donuts in the garage? Yeah, no. I got a Kia K5 tomorrow. I have either a 300 or a 300 or not a Mustang, Malibu for Wednesday. The Malibu is at 12. The 300 is at 9. No, for Monday. And then I've got another car 9 a.m. at Wednesday. And then I have another car booked for next Saturday, I think at 9 a.m. or something like that. So I have cars coming in. So we're going to be doing a lot of live streams this week, which is cool. And we got a buffer, work on some appointments for the next week, and then things should be pretty busy this whole summer, I would imagine. So we'll keep this train moving. It is that season, so that's cool. Shout out to the super chats. Do we have them? Do we have some? We have a few. Hey! Big shout out to LKB again, T-Jet as always, RM, and Washington. Oh, I think I missed part of this one. Washington with a 5. What's up, Matt? Just finished an 09 R8. Had trouble cutting the top and bottom. Any tips on this? Oh, I'm sorry. I missed a little bit on that one. If you're still here. I wonder if I can respond after the fact. So on an 09 R8, like an Audi R8, those I've done one of those. I did not have fun doing that one. I cut out I tightened up the bottom, cut that bottom edge, and then those are like bubbly side windows, bubbly frameless side windows, and I had to pull that sucker down real far to get it in the sealed. I think we tinted it between two of us. We had it peeled twice. That was not a fun experience. I don't have a lot of tips on that. Just good luck. That was definitely not a fun car to tint. Do not miss the R8s. But yeah, tighten up, like just pull the bottom, cut the bottom edge, because all of the film starts to like bunch up there. And you have no, it's really like this much before you have a really tight seal at the bottom. How many cars do you tint in a day? I'm trying to just honestly book up 2. Like if I can just keep 2 right now and then fill in maybe with some doors and stuff, I'm not trying to like overwhelm myself right now. I'm trying to set this up. So like 3 hours for a car in the morning, 3 hours for a car in the afternoon. If something happens with one of those cars, somebody shows up late, I have time to do my show. So I'm trying to just organize everything so I can do this. I want to be able to do one of these almost every day or every other day moving forward. So it's like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and that would pretty much be the schedule for the week. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So overwhelming myself, I'm not. I'm just trying to like space everything out right now. Any experience with the electric pump tint kegs? Mine stopped working every time it runs low on water. I've gone through like 4 pumps. Ooh. No, I saw the electric pumps, but I never got one. I just air compressors, just like you don't have to worry about a battery and you don't have to worry about a pump. You just psh, and then it's ready to go. So I'm not actually, I haven't tried one at all, but I know Tint Depot has one. So you could head up their chat and see what they say about it. Any tips on a Tesla Model Y? I have not actually touched one of those yet. So no, I don't. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and end, and I will see you guys promptly 1 to 1:30, somewhere 1 to 1:30 Eastern time tomorrow. I will be back. So see you then. Thank you so much for hanging out. I much appreciate it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.